Hello children, welcome to AIMS India's online classes. So in today's class, let us learn about reflection. Look at the following beautiful sceneries in nature. They have the reflected mirror images along the dotted line. Here the dotted line is missing, so I'll draw a line, okay? So what is this reflection? What do we mean by the reflected mirror images? In the water, we see our reflection. Yes, see, as you can see here, the image or the what the scenery is only this much. The actual scenery, the mountains are present only here, but because there is water below here and we can see our reflection in water, so the same scenery is reflected in the water as well. And why is it called as a mirror image? As we have discussed in the previous class, mirror image are exactly the same. So exactly the same scenery is reflected in the water. Even here we can see the scenery above the water. What is this? We are having trees and mountains. Again, due to the presence of water here, the same scenery is reflected as it is, children. It is reflected as it is in the water. So this is nothing but the reflection. Reflection can be seen in water and also in mirrors. Now look at the pictures and their reflected images. They are like mirror images. Yes. So what is this? This is the original picture and this is the reflected. Original and reflected. Original and reflected. Okay, understood. That means when you have a mirror here, when we place a mirror here, this is what you will see in the mirror. When you place a mirror here, this is what you will see in the mirror. This is the reflected image, the image that is seen in the mirror. They are like mirror images. Now you might get confused between the symmetry that we have learned and this reflected images. See children, if we have B, sorry, say the letter B, the alphabet B. What is the line of symmetry here? Here, this dotted line in the middle becomes the line of symmetry. It is dividing the given alphabet into two halves into two mirror halves. The whole letter is already present and our line of symmetry is dividing it such that both the parts are the mirror halves of the given alphabet. Now when it comes to reflection or the mirror image, that means we have to draw what we see in the mirror. How can we see in the mirror? If you keep the mirror here, you can see that the direction is changed. Here it is be like this, right? It would be like this. Now this is the reflection of our alphabet B, or nothing but the reflected image. Understood children? Symmetry is found in the same object. The same object or in the letter itself we will find a line of symmetry such that the given alphabet or the given object is divided into two mirror halves. But here what is the reflection? Reflection is what we see in the mirror or in the water. So when we place a mirror here, this is what we see as a reflection. Okay, you can take a mirror and check for yourself to understand better children. You can take a mirror and check how is it shown in the mirror. How do we see this alphabet B in the mirror? Now that becomes our reflection. How do we see it in the mirror becomes our reflection. If I place the mirror here, how will it be this? It would be the same. This is how it will look. If I place the mirror here, this is how it will look. If I place the mirror here, this is how it will look. Understood children? We have to draw the opposite side. We have to draw the reflection of what we see. That is the difference between our reflected images and the symmetry. Symmetry is within the same object. We are dividing it into two mirror halves. And reflection is nothing but we are drawing the mirror image. Even here, see children, this is like this. Yes, the iron box is starting from here to here, but in the reflection what are we seeing? It is like this. So it's in the opposite direction. That is what is called as reflection. Left becomes right and right becomes left in the reflection. Now look at a few more examples of reflected images. Again, see, if you take this for example, if it was symmetry, then you would have got this figure, and then you had to find out the line of symmetry, which would have been this. Yes, when you fold this figure along the dotted line, you can see that both the halves are mirror halves and both overlap each other. But as we are looking at the reflected images, this is the original image, and if we place a mirror in the middle, what will be reflected, children? This will be reflected. This will be reflected. I hope this is clear. The difference between reflected images and symmetry. Reflection and symmetry. These two are very close concepts, but there is a difference in between them. Again, if you look at the figure 1, see, you have to take care of one thing, children, that in reflected images the direction changes. See, here this is left and this is right. The arrow mark is on the right and the plane is on the left. But here when it comes to the reflected images, the arrow mark is on the left and the plane is on the right. Yes or no? Even here, see, the pointed edge here is on the right side and the flat is on the left side. But when it comes to the reflection, the pointed edge is on the left side and the flat edge is on the right side. So this is what you have to take care while drawing the reflected images, or when choosing the reflected images from the given options. The the direction changes. The direction of the figure or the object changes when it is reflected. So you can observe these figures carefully here to understand how reflected images look. These are again few more examples. See, this is how it is. When it comes to reflection, it has changed in the opposite direction. Again, the number 3, the reflection becomes in the opposite direction. Now project. Look at some shapes. Find the reflected images. Observe whether the reflected image is the same as the original one. One such example is shown here. If you look at these two shapes here, children, here is the alphabet E. The reflected image is not the same as the original one. Is it? No, right? Again, this is also a difference between symmetry and reflection. In symmetry, suppose if we have the alphabet 3. Now, when I draw a line of symmetry in the middle, both are the same. No, nothing. Okay. What is this? E. The reflected image is like this. It is in the opposite direction. So, both the original image and the reflected image are not the same. So, what is our project here? We have to take some shapes and then find out its reflected images. Now, from those we have to point out those shapes that are having the reflected image same as the original one. For example, if you take circle, now can you tell me which is the original one and which is the reflected one? No, we cannot distinguish. Why? Because both are exactly the same. The original and the reflected image are exactly the same for circle. Now we have to find out few more shapes. What is this? If we take square for example, what will be the reflected image? Again, the reflected image will look something like this. Now both the original and the reflected images are the same. Even if you take this rhombus, this is called as rhombus or also known as the diamond shape by you children. Okay, again the reflected image is the same as the original one. So for shapes like this, the reflected image is same as the original one. Now what is your task here? You have to find out few more such images where the reflected image is the same as the original one. Now exercise 1.11.9. Draw the reflected images of the following shapes. Here we have a few shapes. Yes, children, now we should draw the reflected images. Yes, keep in mind while drawing the reflected images, the direction changes. Now, coming to the first shape, we're having a baseline, so I'll start with that. We're having the straight line at the left side. So that means in the reflection, the straight line will be on the right side. Then we have this slanting line. So, slanting line. Is this clear, children? Now this becomes our reflected image for the first one. Now for the second one, see this line is like this. From right to left. So see it is slanting from right side to the left side. So in the reflection, it will slant from left side to the right side. Then we have this. Then even below we have this one, and then we have this line segment. So this becomes our reflected image for the image 2. Now coming to 3, it is a C shape. So we have to draw a reverse C shape. Again we have an inner C. So an inner C. My drawing is not a perfect, children, but I hope you are able to understand the concept of reflected images here. The direction changes when we see the reflection. Even you, if you want, you can observe this using a mirror. And coming to the last one, the pink figure here, children. This first we are drawing the line, and then here if you observe, these triangles are to the left side of the line. This is the line and the triangles are to the left side of the line. So in the reflection, the triangles will be placed to the right side like this. Okay, there is not enough space here, so I will show it here, children. Understood? Like this. So this is what reflected images are. This is how we can draw reflected images for the given shapes. Now question 2. Tick the correct reflected images for the following figures. Now this is a multiple choice question. The original image. These are the original images, and for these we have to select the reflected image from the following options. If you look at the first one, here the pointed arrow is to the right side and this V shape is to the left side. Yes. Now in reflection, what does it happen? It becomes the reverse. This should come to the left side. Now if you look at the options, the first one is the same as the original image, so no. Now coming to the second one, this is to the down, but we want it to the left. Now coming to third figure, yes, this pointed arrow is to the left side. So this becomes our reflected image. What becomes the reflected image? The number 3. Now coming to B, figure B, again this is a C. Now we want to write the reverse C or the reflected C. What will it be? First one is the same as the original? No. And if you look at the third one, it is facing downwards? No. So second one becomes our correct answer or the correct reflected image for the given figure. Coming to C, we are having 5. We are having 5. Yes. So this becomes our correct answer. Yes, the direction is changed. These are not the correct reflected images. Now coming to the next topic, that is tessellations. In the previous class we have studied about tiling shapes. Now shapes that fit into each other without leaving any gaps are known as tiling shapes. Shapes that do not fit into each other without leaving gaps are known as non-tiling shapes. Now what is this, children? For those who have already learned about tiling shapes in your previous classes, it is okay. So for those who haven't learned about what are tiling shapes, let us look. What is this? Shapes that fit into each other without leaving any gaps. For example, see this. The shapes that fit into each other without leaving any gaps. Can you see any gaps here, children? No. Yes, so as we cannot see any gap here, these are called as tiling shapes. Now when we have some shapes that do not fit into each other without leaving any gaps, here they are not fitting into each other, they are leaving certain gap in the middle. So what are they called as? Non-tiling shapes. Is this clear? What are tiling shapes? We are having two types of shapes. One is tiling shapes and the other one is non-tiling shapes. When the shapes fit into each other without leaving gaps, when the shapes fit into each other without leaving gaps, they will be called as tiling shapes. And when the shapes do not fit into each other, they will be called as non-tiling shapes, children. Now tiling means covering an area with tile. Now these tilings are also known as tessellations. All shapes do not tessellate. Look at some examples of shapes which tessellate and which do not tessellate. So what is this? That is what we have learnt about tiling shapes and non-tiling shapes, right? Now what is this tiling actually? Tiling means covering an area with tiles. If you observe in our homes, that is if you observe especially in the bathrooms, children, in the washrooms, you can see that the walls are not made of simply walls. We can see tiles on the walls. If you want, you can ask your parents to show where tiles are in your home. Yes, we can see these tiles in the washrooms, in kitchen, and also in the normal living rooms. At the bottom, only at the bottom tiles are placed. So when we cover an area with the tiles, understand? Tiles, when we cover an area with tiles, it is called as tiling. The process of covering an area is known as tiling. Now these tilings are known as tessellations. Now what is the other name for tiling? It is also known as tessellations. Now all shapes do not tessellate. So again, if you go and observe in your house how the tiling is done, we'll see that the tiles are placed such that there is no gap between one another. For example, if this is the entire wall, children, and only in the bottom half I am going to place the tiles. See, we will not place the tiles like this. As you can see here in the blue tiles, there is some gap. Yes or no? So we will not place tiles like this. So how will we place the tiles? I'll show you. We will place them such that there is no gap between. There is no gap in between them. Understood? Like this. We'll place it such that there is no gap in between the tiles. Yes, this how we place the tiles is known as tilings. This process is known as tiling or also known as tessellations. And what are they saying? All shapes are not fit to be. All shapes do not tessellate. Look at some examples of shapes which tessellate and which do not tessellate. If we take these squares for example, you see here we can arrange these squares such that there is no gap in between them. That is nothing but these are tiling shapes. Just now we have learned, right, when the shapes fit each other without leaving any gaps, they are called as tiling shapes. So as they are tiling shapes, we use them for tiling. Yes or no, children? So this is example of a shape which tessellates. Or else you can take an example of triangle as well. When we have a triangle shaped tiles, another triangle will be placed here, then here, here, like this. Yes, can you see any gap in between the tiles? No, the tiles fit exactly. Yes, without leaving any gaps, children. So again, this is also an example of a shape that tessellates, or this is an example of tiling shape that can be used for tessellations. Now if you look at other examples here that do not tessellate. See, here these shapes do not tessellate. Even if I take the example of circle shaped tiles, what will happen if we have circle shaped tiles? Now if I place the tiles like this, you can see that there is gap in between the tiles. Yes or no? We cannot completely fill the gap in between. So can we use such type of shapes for tiling or for tessellation purpose? No, we cannot use it for tiling. So these shapes are an example of a shape that do not tessellate. What is the, in summary, what did we learn just now, children? We have learned that there are few shapes that can be used for tiling and few that cannot be used for tiling. Now what is tiling? Tiling means covering an area with tiles, and the other name for tiling is nothing but tessellations. Now, did you know beehive constructed by honeybees is also a tiling pattern? When we look at the beehive, what is the beehive, children? I hope you all know honeybees, right? We all know about honeybees. We know that honeybees make honey. And where do these honeybees live? They live in beehives, and also from this beehive, this is the figure of, are you able to see this picture here, the golden color one? Yes. So this is an example of beehive, how a beehive looks, and we get our honey from this beehive itself. Now beehive constructed by honeybees is also a tiling pattern. What are they saying? The beehive that is constructed, that is this beehive, is also a tiling pattern. How? If you observe carefully, see here, all the shapes are placed in such a way that there is no gap in between. Can you see any gap here in between, children? No. All the shapes are arranged in such a way that there is no gap in between. They fit perfectly into each other without leaving any gaps. So this is also, what is this? This is also a tiling pattern. This is one of the natural examples that we can see in nature where this tiling pattern is followed. Now here are a few more examples. See, this and this. So even if you look and go and observe in your house, you can find some tiles that are used, and also you can observe the shapes used. You can check whether there is any gap in between the tiles or not. Now exercise, put a tick mark on the tessellating shapes. Now again, what are the tessellating shapes? Tessellating shapes are nothing but the tiling shapes. The tiling means what here? We have to cover an entire area with tiles. There should be no gap in between the tiles. Yes, children? So from the given options, we have to tick the ones which are tessellating shapes. Coming to the first option A. Now if you see here, we are having many squares. Now are these tessellating? Yes. Why are they tessellating? Because there is no gap in between them. Now coming to the shape B, are these tessellating? No. Why? Because see here, we are having some gap in. Now coming to shape C, again we are seeing a few gaps here. So this is not a tessellating shape. Now coming to shape D, yes, it is a tessellating shape as the tiles are covered perfectly. Now even E is a tessellating shape as the tiles are covered perfectly without leaving any gap, children. Now create different tessellation patterns using the grid paper. Some examples are shown below. As you can see, this is similar to, yes, we have to make patterns such that the shapes fit into each other perfectly and they leave no gap. For example, let me try a pattern here, something like this, okay? And then what we can do, we can, understood, children? Like this you have to make some patterns. This is for your fun. If you want to do, you can do it like this. You can make different patterns out of it. See, like this you can make different patterns. What you have to make sure is that, or you can go for simple squares using this grid lines or the dots here. You can make patterns that are tessellating. We have to make tessellation patterns. That means we have to make sure that there is no gap in between them. So with this, we've come to the end of today's class, children. And this is the end of our chapter geometry. I hope whatever you have learned in this chapter is clear, and we'll continue with multiple choice questions in the coming class. Please visit our website www.aimstoday.in for other information regarding online classes, quizzes, live worksheets, DIY activities, English classes and coding. Thank you for watching our video. Please subscribe our channel and press the bell icon for receiving latest updates.